Mason, already on the job.
Part, mate.
Yeah, it's nice, bigger than us.
Oh, you want some donuts for the kids? You couldn't see that today. One with a new strimmer. It's having too much fun.
Because it's all rainwater anyway. We keep the fish food in, so we've got the bread in here today on the clay stove.
Yeah, Mason's about to go. First stop, you've ordered a fucking...
They're gonna feed it.
Salad here.
Fruit salad, just went to the market, loads of random stuff.
Mason's never had durian before. We take it into the house.
Kid in the candy shop, literally. Let's try the cake.
Chocolate on chocolate.
All the mud. We're just gonna rake over there. Some lilies. It should look nice. Right, welcome back to the vlog. So Mason has been with us for almost a month. He's on his last week now. So we're just gonna sit him down, ask him some questions. What he thinks of the farm, what he thinks about our life, what he thinks about our farm, living here, the town, the food, everything. Just get his opinions, just so you guys know, from a different perspective. But yeah, we'll start with the questions. Right, Mace. So firstly, why did you come and see us?
Well, yeah, so obviously you guys have only been here, what, 2 months now?
Well, when you came, we've been here just over a month.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I had obviously time off that I could come out here, so I was available to come out. But obviously, coming in with my cousin, so the girls wanted to come out, so spend some time out here with you guys, experiencing it. Obviously, been watching the vlogs and seeing it, but comparing it to actually being here to what you see online, everything's a lot bigger and more vast, so you don't actually get the full perspective of what it really is. So yeah, it was more come out, see how everything is, help you with anything you might need, just an extra pair of hands on the farm.
Yeah, an extra pair of hands definitely helps out here, because the hard manual labour and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, with everything that you're trying to do at the moment, like fixing the trenches, trying to get stuff dug up, like planting, like even like the little things like the guppy pots.
Yeah.
Fixing all of the, obviously we dug all the outside of the chickens in the first time you let them out. Obviously you were all over the place picking up chickens.
I know, they were in the back and all sorts.
It's just like little things that just meant that Camilla could keep an eye on the kids and I can help you, so you ain't got to try and juggle everything and do everything shortly, just try and smash it out in sort of one quick block and then get you guys sort of help set up why I'm available and why would you not want to come out to Thailand as well, you know what I mean?
Right, so before you came out here, what expectations did you have? What did you think it was going to be like?
So obviously speaking with you before you come, and what your sort of plans were with it, and then
we
seeing
FaceTime a few times.
And speaking of it, obviously like when we first spoke, you were like, oh, I want like 3 trenches that are about 20 to 30 metres long, metre wide, and then I had that envisioned in my head. So when I was looking at it, you don't quite understand. I thought my expectation of it all was sort of a lot smaller. Like I thought that everything was going to be a lot
more compact,
not as long. Do you know what I mean? It was going to be, the chickens were going to be right on top of everything. And I think until you've actually been here and seen it and see sort of how big it is, like even like the little garden bit that you've done for the girls, that's like a decent sized garden back home. You know what I mean? It's like out here, it's like oh, it's just a little small garden around our house, but actually you've got so much. You can easily put like a swing, a slide.
Oh yeah.
They've got a paddling pool there already. Like plus you've got the guppies in there now. Like you've got so much room in there, and then obviously after like once we've done a bit of work as well, it opened up even more. So I think my expectations with regards to the size of everything, it's a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
So I was expecting it to be a lot smaller and a lot more compact. I didn't realise quite how much land you actually had. and how much potential you could actually do with this as well over time. Obviously, I was expecting the town to be a lot smaller. Like, I look at it like back home, and I look at like when you're like, oh, small little town. I was just expecting like what, a couple of little shops, maybe a small market,
a little high street or something.
Yeah, and then when you get here, it's literally like got two. Well, when we first got here, had the other market in, so there was 3 decent sized markets.
Yeah.
Loads of shops. There's like 4 7-Elevens next to each other. You've got
Few
big
petrol stations.
Yeah, like you've got more than everything you need. And every shop, the shops here are like, they sell everything. You literally like you go one shop and you can get whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, it's not a very known town, Snan Chad, yet. So, in terms of towns in Thailand, it's not like a a Pattaya or a Phuket town. Not a lot of people know it unless you're Thai or you've been to Thailand.
Yeah. And then like, obviously it's wet season at the moment, and we've had maybe 2 days where it's been
Thundering,
wet,
storming. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just at night. It comes in like a few lightning strikes, tiny bit of rain, and then nothing. It's been a lot hotter than I originally thought it was going to be.
Well, every now and then it'll drizzle, won't it? And then after an hour, it'll just all
we had
dry
that
up.
one day, didn't we, when we nearly got struck by lightning, and other than that, it's hardly rained at all.
Yeah. Well, wet season's not really come yet. Well, it's supposed to be now, but I think in like a month's time.
Bit delayed.
Yeah, in a month's time, I think it'll start being a bit wet. But I hear Bangkok's getting all the rain at the moment.
Yeah.
They're always flooding Bangkok, so
We'll find out when we go.
well, it seems like it never rains here, really. Not that often.
But even like a few times we've gone to town, it's like the roads are soaking wet.
Yeah.
And you get back here and it's like bone dry. You're like, oh, must have missed you guys then.
We must have like an ozone ahead of us or something.
Little dome.
right on top of us. Just blocks out the rain. So obviously you've been here almost a month now. So what do you actually think of farm life in Thailand? Looking after the animals, collecting the eggs every day and feeding the fish and trimming the grass, growing the trees, watering everything.
Yeah, I mean the morning chores are. I mean, they're not even tedious because it's literally like you get out here between 8, 9, if sometimes a bit later.
Just whenever we wake up.
That's what I mean. But you come out the chickens. Now we've got all this set up.
Yeah.
It's literally case open the door. The chickens will come out, get any feed we put in, collect the eggs. Normally, either you and Chris are doing that, I'll be feeding the fish and getting all the fish fed, and then it takes maybe 15 minutes. 20 minutes at most to get everything done.
Well, if you have to clean the pen, it take a bit longer, but other than that, it's not really.
But then cleaning the pen's not really been like an everyday chore, is it?
No,
it's like
no.
every couple of weeks. Obviously, you got the strimming and that side of it is everything just grows so fast. So it's not like you strim it and then you've got a month where you don't need to do anything. It's like
it's a few days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like right, strim it once a week. Like thing is, there's a lot of work to do. But it's not like back home where you're trying to do something like this in the evenings and weekends while funding it through a job. Is that you just got all day, you can just come and go as you please. If it gets too hot, you can go in, chill in the hammock, sit in the aircon.
Well, that's what we do, don't we? We come out in the morning, while it's cool, do a bit of hard graft. When it gets a bit too hot, we'll go sit for a few hours until you got the energy to come back out. So
I think once the bulk of it's done, like I say, like all the digging's done, now we've got all the trenches and that up and running properly with no real leak, it's a case of now it's just like refreshing the water. Your jobs they come a lot. I think the longer you go,
the easier it'll be,
the less work there'll be, because everything will be done on top. The only thing with the farm life is like when you do get a little cut, the flies come on you, like you get like a little nick on your ankle, next minute you've got loads of flies on you, so you have to make sure that you keep them covered or keep them creamed, or wear like when I first come, I had a big cut on my leg, so I was like out here working in like trackies and a jumper, and I'm
always in elephant pants.
You're just sweating so
long
much.
sleeves and elephant pants.
That's the only thing in it.
Saves my life.
It's just like it's sweaty, like it's like its own little climate.
I read a comment the other day that someone said this time of the year is the worst for flies. Should get better. Whether it does, because we are out, surrounded by jungle, so I expect there to be flies. Look now,
that's what I mean.
Dragonflies everywhere.
They come out like first thing in the morning, last thing at night. You just get. I mean, they don't do anything; they just fly around you. But it's the little flies. They're just getting all your little cups.
Them little fruit flies.
Yeah.
They're just like 10 of them in your cut, and you just feel it.
They're forever just like. If you don't get any cuts on you, then they don't affect you whatsoever. It's just making sure that you if you do get a cut, back home you're just like, oh, I'll be fine.
Yeah,
It's out here you've got to be like, oh, I need to make sure that I'm creaming it or covering it up, bandaging it all the time. But then your local pharmacy's over counter and it's cheap as anything anyway. So,
well, we bought medicine for the kids, didn't we? What was it? Antiseptic. And it was 200 baht for 2 bottles of antiseptic, and you know, she mixed it there for us. She told us, you know,
the doses and stuff.
yeah,
like,
give it to her after every meal.
with regards to the farm life, it's just like, it's a very chilled lifestyle if you're willing to do the work. If you're not really up for grafting and like digging, the nice thing is that, like, for you guys, that you haven't got a boss over your head being like, right, today we're doing this and you're done by lunchtime. Then you get a 45-minute break, you have a cup of tea and a bit of food, and then you're back out slaving away.
I'll have an afternoon nap, me.
I know you do.
I'll take a 5-hour break. But then,
that
like you say,
in the morning, it doesn't come back out till the evening.
So, what do you reckon? Do you reckon you've experienced like a culture shock since you've been here?
I mean, obviously we're pretty rural, like, aren't you? You're not really near. I mean, you are quite near to
on our road. What we got? 3 houses.
Yeah.
And you're talking 800 meters. This road.
Yeah.
There's 3 houses, 3 farms.
I mean, you can see, like, when we go into town, like when we go to market, and me and you would just nip in, and Camilla would stay in the car with the kids or something. We're just nip in quick to grab some food. All the locals are like asking you, like, "Oh, where's the babies? Where's Camilla?"
Yeah.
So, like,
even when we go different markets out of town, because obviously the market stores switch and change towns wherever the market's on, and they're like, "I've seen you in Snam Chai Ket. How's the babies? Where are they?" And you know, they'll ask us questions about the babies because we are a bit different, and I think people remember us.
That's what I mean. Like, I mean, since being here in your town, I've seen one other English person, and that's Camilla. Like, they've literally not seen any other white guys. The first white person we saw was that mate who crashed his truck on the way to Pattaya.
In the middle of the road.
In the middle of nowhere. Other than that, like, and you can see that, like, the locals are like a bit like shocked to see you, or a bit shocked.
I think a lot of them now are used to us because, you know, we've been to town a few times now. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. But like, you can see that even still, that they look like for me, they look at me like, oh, cool. Like, there's a white guy here. Like, it's a bit like interesting. You can tell that where it is, so it's just fully tied. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no real foreigners here. There's no English speaking. Like, even like when it goes to like the market, and like when I went, like, previously when I come here when I was like 16, I went to like Chiang Mai. And even there, you could like speak to people, and I could speak to Thai people that had a basic understanding of English. As I hear that it's very little English. You'd need to speak the language to not to a good degree, but just enough to get by, to order stuff in the food without you guys. You know what I mean? And then you've also got the blessing of, what was it, an hour and 10 minutes to Pattaya when we drove.
Yeah,
hour 20.
Just so you're
hour
20, hour half.
Speaking city where the Thais can then speak English and you can communicate again.
That's the thing here, we're out of the way, so nothing's catered for tourists. So you're not going to have, you know, higher prices. Everything's low price here. It's high price because there's no tourists here.
But it's also, I think, with here is that you can't get the experiences you'd get here.
Oh, in Pattaya
or Chiang Mai or Bangkok or Phuket. I think the good thing about here is that you're experiencing Thailand for Thailand and not Thailand that's been cultured for tourism.
You're meeting real locals, aren't you?
It's proper. This is how the Thai people live, and you get to experience actual lifestyle of Thai living, not just the nightlife and the glam stuff you see online. When you come here, you really do understand how cool Thailand is as a place. And then even when you go across to like the diet and the food out here, like, Thai food is Thai food. You get Thai restaurants back home, and you get the classic, like, you'll get your pagra pao that I eat all the time. You get all your fried rice stuff. You get your pad thai and stuff. That's like your traditional stuff. But like, we come out from the market one day, and your uncle was like in the like this jungle opposite the house, and he was just there with a head torch. We were like, what is he doing? And he was like digging up honey to eat. And he was like, "Oh, this
He'll go up and down this road here with his head torch on."
And you'll see it rain, stop raining at like 9 o'clock at night, and you'll see him come out of his house with a head torch on, with a bag, and he'd come back with a bag full of frogs and just sit there, not even barbecue, like a little stove outside his front door, shot of whiskey, and just the way he goes. Like, you wouldn't get that in a city. You won't go and see.
Oh yeah, you're not going to see
all these different types of food getting caught, and how they do it. It's
because back in England, I used to tell people like where I come from, we catch our food, lizards, frogs, snakes, anything. We'll eat it all. And when I say I'm not fussy, I am not fussy. I'll eat whatever. You dish it up on a plate, and I will eat it. Whereas, you know, I don't think they can comprehend that back at home, because you know they don't expect you to eat a frog or a snake. You know what I mean?
Even when you go to like the market stalls and you go and have like,
well, they sell frogs there. You know what I mean? You see them in tubs.
Yeah, and like you have like big stalls of like crickets and like scorpions and grasshoppers and stuff. And you're just like, no, like they just eat that casually. Like they buy like a bag of snacks.
Yeah. It's like having a pack of crisps, isn't it, back home?
I think if you're going to come here and to like this sort of like rural Thailand, I think the thing is that you need to be prepared to eat spice.
Yeah, it is very spicy.
Like the first week, I was like just dipping my toes in. I was just like, oh, I like ask for less spicy, and like, now I just eat as it comes.
Yeah,
I think you've got to be prepared to.
You reckon your tolerance has gone up then?
Oh, massively, yeah. I mean, like, well, the first couple of days I was like, oh, less spicy. I was like, oh, that's quite spicy. And then we just forgot one day to order less spicy. I was like, oh, that was actually well nice. I can do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
And like, see, I think you just got to be open minded when it comes to diet here, and just jump in straight in the deep end and just eat both of it and just give it a go. Like the worst case is like, what was that horrible durian fruit or whatever? The worst thing in the world.
No, I love durian.
Yeah, you keep loving it, mate. I don't. So, but even that, like the worst thing was like, what was the worst thing? I just spat it out and just threw it in the bush. Like,
yeah.
No one can. It's so cheap here that if you don't like something and you just feed it to the dog or feed it to the chickens, like it doesn't matter.
It costs you £1 or just £1.50. You know
what I mean? You get like a plate full of food for like 80p. You just like, if you don't like it, you just go buy something else. Like, you've got to try it and like definitely have a Pagra Power. That's different level them stuff. That's all
would you say that's your favourite dish out here?
Yeah, especially that mixed one.
It's top 3 in my favourite. I'd say Pagra Power, Kway Teow, and Som Tam is my 3 favourites.
Yeah, I mean, Pagra Power, that mixed one I've been having the last couple of days.
Oh yeah, the raw meat.
So yeah, it's like, what was it like? Squid,
pork, chicken, squid, prawns.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a mixed meat one.
I think that's the biggest culture thing as well, is like watching your uncle just be there. Like, no way would you catch me in there in flip-flops up to your ankles in mud, mate, digging for snails and snakes. Like, nah, you're a different level, mate. You enjoy it, mate.
It's because obviously he knows what's going to bite him, and he knows what's venomous and what to stay away from. Yeah, like for us, I wouldn't go in there now. If I saw a snake, I'm not going to know what it is. So I'll just kill whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas he'll let it slide because he knows it's not harmful or whatever.
Nah, not for me.
So, how do you think it compares to England? Can you see why we moved out here, or why people would want to move out here and, you know, start farm life and live out here?
Yeah, I mean, the UK's great for some things. Like,
don't get me wrong, I love the UK. You know, everything I've learned is from the UK.
Yeah.
But I think times have gone past now where I realised, you know, it's not about chasing money, because I earn way more in the UK than I would here. You know, even if I grew all the veg and sold all the fish all at once, I'm still not making as much as I would working in the UK.
I think the UK is great for the sound of it when you talk about like wages, like, oh yeah, £30,000 a year or whatever. But the cost of living in the UK is just not really that feasible when you think about it. And the way it's going, like, just like basic necessities like electric, water, gas, like, plus your rent or mortgage, it's so much money nowadays that it's just not feasible. Out here, like, you get everything so cheap, like even like your basic bills, like your water, you've got a water pump comes from the ground, that's not even a bill.
Yeah.
Then you've got your gas, not even gas, sorry, your electric bill. What did you say it was the other day? It comes to
over 2,000 baht, isn't it?
Like 45 quid, 50 quid. Whereas back home, it's like £50 a week, if not more. Like, so I think out here, like, your lifestyle is so much better.
But like I said, like previously in a couple of other vlogs, we're poorer here, but we're richer. But richer in life and richer in things that we can do and can't do, and just more in experiences as well.
Yeah, like for the kids as well, I think it's a no-brainer being out here. Like growing up with like experiences of what you had when you were a kid living out here. And then compared to like experience you have back in England, like they're never going to be able to like experience any of this back in the UK. Even if you were to eventually move back in 5, 10, 20 years or whatever, or the girls would grow up and move back to the UK, they'd never get the experiences of life experiences that I get out here growing up here.
Oh yeah.
I think for you guys it's a no-brainer to move here. I think it's a great decision, and it gives me an excuse to have a cheap holiday.
Do you know what? That's a good question.
So another one that we were thinking about is, obviously this is later down the line when everything's sorted, you know, once everything's running correctly. On the other end of the pond, we were thinking, you know, dig it all up, build a little hut to offer a farm stay. Do you reckon that'd be a good idea, you know, where they can come? Because we're gaining a few subscribers now, so imagine, you know, people want this kind of experience. So we thought, well, we'll give it to them, give them the real rural life of Thailand, and they can come, they can stay, they can catch the fish out of the pond, they can pick their own veg, get the eggs in the morning, you know, give them a little stove, find some wood, find some coal. We even throw in a couple of frogs. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's a good idea? Maybe, you know, for anyone that wants to come and experience this sort of life.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is that you won't experience it in many places. So like, if you're coming to Thailand, say like for a month or for a couple of weeks, I'd definitely recommend, even if you just come for like 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to come for like the whole time you're here. Even if you just come for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Just to experience it, I think. Especially once you've got like you say,
I'm not having someone to stay like 6 months. After a few days, they can dip off, unless you're family or friends. You know what I mean?
Like, I think once you've got, like you say, got your veg growing, and you can just put like little notes on it and just say like, this is what each plant is.
Yeah.
The fish, blah blah blah. Like,
yeah.
I
mean, we'll be here to explain, you know,
what it is.
Yeah.
How to do it.
And if they want to get stuck in with a bit of farm work, you know, they can do.
I think it'd be. I mean, for me, it's been an unbelievable experience the last month. Just being here, just like everything from like the climate, just like everyday chores, like you say, like getting the eggs, fishing, planting, like just. It's
different from, you know, back in England, isn't it?
But don't get me wrong, like when we went to Pattaya and we went them places, like it's unbelievable. Like,
well, that's like our holiday, isn't it?
Like,
you know what I mean?
You get everything you want, but I think for people coming to Thailand, if you've got a couple of days or 3 or 4 days, you want to experience something completely different.
Yeah.
You won't experience this in many places. And if you
obviously there's places that offer farm stays, but I think they're more catered towards tourists.
Yeah.
You know, they'll go to the market, buy fresh ingredients to make pad thai or whatever. You know what I mean? Whereas here, you're eating a frog if you come.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and you can even do like little challenges, like who had all the most spice, or like little things that like Thailands are known for. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have everything stupidly spicy. You eat some of the maddest animals. Try
the nasty stuff like durian and
do you know what I mean?
You know, like, shrimp paste and fish sauce, and
you can make it like not like a community as such, but like you can really build it up and get people to experience different things. I think if you do go for like a farm stay and you do get huts in, you can really people could really come here and really experience proper Thailand, and not just partying and living that life. And like things like here is that you can literally just sit around for hours. The amount of times like you guys will be sat inside and I'll just be laying in the hammock like an hour, just chilling, just like hearing like the craziest noises, especially as the sun starts to go down, all the animals come out to play. You just get so lost in it. It's so relaxing. It just takes you out of the everyday life of how quick paced life is, and you come here and suddenly everything's just so
like time's not really a thing. Half the time we don't know what time it is, what day it is.
I mean, like, we've caught ourselves to be like, oh, what day is it? Like, I've only known what day it is sometimes because like my cricket team are playing. I'm like, oh shit, it's Saturday. Like, or it's Saturday doing. Like, I think here you just get lost in it. It's so peaceful, and you can really come here and just unwind fully, just experience nature and life for what it is. And you get some unbelievable lightning shows at night as well. They're crazy.
Right, so obviously up until now you've done quite a few things, haven't you? Obviously you've fed the fish, the chickens, crocodiles, elephants, arapaima. You know, we've been to a few places, been to the beach, been out in Pattaya, worked on the farm. So what in a month, that's a lot, you know what I mean? You don't compact that in back at home. So what has been the highlight of your trip, and what don't you like about your trip, you know? Things that you don't like as well.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing of it stands out with feeding the arapaima and the crocodiles, the alligators.
Yeah.
That was pretty. And I don't think you can do that back home at all.
No,
if you can, it'd be pretty expensive. I mean,
even for me, it's quite a cool experience.
The alligators didn't cost us a penny.
Yeah,
we didn't have to pay for that. I think you gave him what, 100 baht tip.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And then the arapaima, 100 baht to feed it 4 times. So
I know 100 baht. I am cheap. And I don't care. I didn't have to tip him.
I mean, we were the only ones in the park, weren't we? We didn't get there too late.
They were about to shut. And I was like, nope, stay open. I want to see the alligators. And I gave him 100 baht tip. But to them, I don't know. He was happy with it anyway.
Yeah, he was buzzing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then even like little things, like just like trying all the new foods, different foods that I probably wouldn't have had back home, or probably wouldn't have access to back home. They were pretty cool. Watching Mal with the chickens.
Yeah,
she loves them. Kara's a bit scared at the moment, isn't she? But Mal and there, the chickens, bless her, she just gets straight in the mix of them.
Yeah.
That's quite nice to see. Things I haven't liked, flies. When you're just trying to sit out in the evening, just like relax and watch the sunset.
It's not so bad during the day.
Nah, it's evenings and mornings, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can get quite annoying. And probably you guys mugging me off from his socks and sandals. Hating me the whole time. I've been bit to pieces now, my feet, bless them.
I had the same with my haircut.
Horrible, aren't they?
So the last time you came, obviously, it was 2016. When did you come? What year?
Yeah, 2015, I think. 2014, 2015.
So how has it been compared to the last time you came? You think a lot has changed? Because a lot of people are saying now, oh, Thailand's going expensive.
What? I don't know what parts they're going to. I mean, I still think food's ridiculously cheap out here.
Yeah.
I think from the night out and patio, I think alcohol's probably got a little bit more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they're just cashing in on that.
I think alcohol and Western food is very expensive.
Yeah.
At the moment. Obviously, fuel's gone up a little bit as well. But nowhere near as much as England.
It's like 70p.
At one point, I was paying almost £2 a litre in England.
It's 70p here.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly expensive. I'd probably say, if you're going to come here, just be ready to jump in and just experience it. Just try the local food, try the sort of the local lifestyle. Don't try and come here and live as if you do in England and just eat pizzas and fish and chips.
Like, if you're going to survive on burgers and pizzas from KFC and whatnot all the time,
just go to Spain.
It will be expensive because obviously it's the same price as back home. But, you know, to me, there's not many places in the world where you can go and buy a proper meal, like cooked meal for £1 or £1.50.
Our beach day, for instance, we all had a coffee and a tea, a couple of fizzy drinks. We had 3 or 4 meals.
Paid for the seats.
Plus the seats, but was like literally on the seabed, and it was like 1,200 baht.
Yeah.
And what's that? That's probably
25, 30 quid maybe.
Yeah. 25, 30 pounds. But really, if you go back home to the sea, you're looking at more than that just in Tesco's on a meal deal for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if I was in England and I wanted to take a trip to the beach, you know, fueling up my car would be like 80 quid.
Yeah.
Just to go to the beach.
Yeah.
And then buy ice cream for everyone. Well, that's 15 quid, 20 quid down. You know what I mean? And then fish and chips, that's another 30, 40 quid. So you're racking up like 150 quid just to go to the beach. And that's just for a standard beach day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think with regards to it getting more expensive here, in some areas, it probably has got a little bit more expensive than what it was 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But I wouldn't say Thailand's expensive in any way whatsoever. I mean, I've been here just under a month, not skinted on anything and gone for it. And I've spent under £400.
I think a lot of people forget there's inflation across the whole world.
Yeah.
And obviously inflation applies to every country. And I think it's worse in the Western world. You know, petrol prices, electricity prices, just your standard living costs has just gone up massively. Whereas compared to here, you know, it's still affordable. It's still cheaper than England before the inflation.
Yeah.
So people forget that when they come here, and you know they'll remember Thailand from years ago, since the first time they've been here, and they think, oh, oh no, their pad thai's gone up to 40 baht instead of 30 baht when they came last time.
Yeah, I think the people that are moaning about it or saying it's more expensive are the people that are probably splitting hairs over like 10 baht.
Yeah.
And
You just got to think like
going against it.
It's 15p or whatever you know it equates to. It's nothing really.
Yeah, it's
like I remember Freddo costing 5p. You're talking 50p now for Freddo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's inflation, not your 10 baht price increase on your pad thai. So that's it. I think that's us, isn't it, Mace?
That's everything.
I think we've covered pretty much everything that we can think of. He's going to be here for another week, so if you do have questions, leave it in the comments. I'll try and get him to answer it just before he leaves. But yeah, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, you know the score. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. It does help us out a lot. We've been pushing hard recently on our last few videos, and you know I've been putting a bit more effort. I don't know if you can tell. I've been putting a bit more effort and time into the videos, and to try and produce better content for you, because you know we'll owe it to you eventually. We're not monetized yet, so it is a freebie. So consider yourself lucky. Anyway, all joking aside, see you in the next one.